Have you ever wondered why nations thousands of miles apart form alliances so strong they'd risk their lives for each other? What's the secret behind the Philippines and India's unwavering support for Israel? What makes these alliances so strong? What factors contribute to these unlikely friendships? Is there a secret source behind all these? Now, let's embark on a journey of discovery. Picture, if you will, a world map. Can you spot the Philippines and India both tucked away in the vast expanse of Asia? Now shift your focus to the Middle East, where Israel, a country smaller than New Jersey, makes its home. Geographically, they're worlds apart. Culturally, they're diverse, each with their own rich tapestry of traditions, customs, and histories. How do these nations overcome geographical and cultural differences? Their paths shouldn't intersect, should they? Yet they've formed bonds so unyielding, they're ready to defend each other, no matter the cost. This isn't a story of neighboring countries sharing borders and pasts. This is about countries separated by oceans and continents. What makes these international relations so intriguing? As we embark on this journey, we'll unravel the threads of this complex web of international relations. Is it shared history, economic ties, or is it a common enemy that has made these nations close ranks? Each of these countries, in their own right, is a power player on the global stage. They each have their own unique strengths and challenges, yet they've found a common ground, a mutual respect and understanding that has led to this unshakable bond. As we delve deeper, we'll expose the layers behind this fascinating alliance. We'll examine the historical ties, the economic links, the shared ideologies, and the power of diplomacy that have brought these nations together. The journey promises to be as intriguing as the destination. So buckle up and get ready for an exploration of international relations like no other. Stay with us as we delve into the whys, hows, and all the intriguing elements of these international relations that have left many perplexed. Could history be the key to understanding these alliances? What historical events tie these nations together? Let's dive into the annals of time to unearth the shared narratives of the Philippines, India, and Israel. Let's begin with the colonial influences. Both India and the Philippines have been under the yoke of foreign rule. India, once a jewel in the British Empire's crown, experienced centuries of colonial rule, while the Philippines were under Spanish and American rule for over 300 years. Israel, too, experienced the heavy hand of foreign control, be it under the Ottomans or the British. These shared experiences of colonialism, the struggle for independence, and the subsequent fight to maintain sovereignty have forged bonds of understanding and empathy among these nations. Next, let's consider some significant historical events that have brought these nations closer. During World War II, when the Jewish people faced the horrors of the Holocaust, the Philippines opened its doors, providing a safe haven for Jewish refugees. This act of humanity and compassion created a bond that has stood the test of time. Similarly, India, despite its non-aligned stance during the Cold War, recognized Israel in 1950, becoming the first non-Arab country in Asia to do so. This recognition, at a time when Israel was still finding its footing on the global stage, was a significant gesture of goodwill and solidarity. Lastly, let's not forget the common goals. All three nations have been working towards sustainable development, peace and prosperity, not just for their citizens, but for the world. Be it through collaborations in technology, agriculture or healthcare, they have shown that their alliance is not merely strategic, but is rooted in a shared vision for a better future. So, history does play a part, but is that all there is to it? As we unravel this intricate tapestry of alliances, we'll find that there's more than meets the eye. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the economic links in the next chapter. Money makes the world go round, right? Could economic interests be driving these alliances? Delving into the economic relations between these countries, we find a web of intricate trade agreements, shared markets, and mutual economic benefits. Let's unpack this, shall we? The Philippines and India, two countries rich in resources and manpower, have long-standing trade relations with Israel. These ties have grown stronger over the years, with both nations providing Israel with significant amounts of imports. From textiles and agricultural products to advanced technology and military equipment, the exchange of goods and services is vast and varied. But it's not just about what Israel gets from these countries. It's also about what these countries get from Israel. Israel, a country renowned for its technological advancements, shares its expertise in areas such as agriculture, water management, and cybersecurity. This transfer of knowledge and technology not only benefits the economies of the Philippines and India, but it also positively impacts the lives of their citizens. In turn, these economic relations have led to job creation, investments, and a surge in bilateral trade. For example, the Philippines' export of electronic products to Israel has grown exponentially. Similarly, India's pharmaceutical and IT industries have thrived thanks to the Israeli market. And let's not forget about the trade agreements. These legal frameworks facilitate the flow of goods and services, providing economic stability and predictability. They foster a sense of trust and cooperation, strengthening the bonds between these nations. But it's not all about trade. The economic link extends to shared markets. The Philippines, India, and Israel have found common ground in sectors like technology, agriculture, and defense. Through collaborative efforts, they've managed to tap into each other's markets, resulting in mutual growth and prosperity. Indeed, money matters. But could there be a deeper bond beyond economic interests? Let's continue exploring this fascinating topic in the next scene. Do shared values and common enemies bring nations closer? Are the Philippines and India standing with Israel for reasons beyond history and economy? In the grand chessboard of international relations, shared values and common adversaries often shape alliances. The Philippines, India, and Israel are no exception. They are bound together by shared ideologies and mutual threats that transcend borders and time zones. Let's delve into the shared ideologies first. Democracy. It's a principle that all three nations hold dear. Israel, known as the only democracy in the Middle East, shares this bond with the Philippines and India, both of which have a rich democratic tradition. This shared commitment to democratic values fosters mutual respect and understanding. Furthermore, these nations share a common value of resilience. The Philippines, India, and Israel have withstood numerous challenges: natural disasters, economic crises, and conflicts. Their shared resilience in the face of adversity is a cornerstone of their affinity. Now let's consider the common enemies. These aren't necessarily nations, but rather challenges and threats that these countries face. Terrorism, for instance, is a common adversary. Israel has been dealing with it since its inception, while India and the Philippines have faced their fair share of threats. Their shared experiences battling this threat have fostered a mutual understanding and cooperation. Climate change, too, is a common enemy. As nations that have experienced the devastating effects of extreme weather events, they share a commitment to addressing this global crisis. In the realm of cybersecurity, these nations face common threats from hackers and cyber criminals. Their collaborative efforts in cybersecurity are a testament to their shared commitment to tackle this issue. These shared values and common enemies have undoubtedly brought these nations closer. They've created a foundation of mutual respect, understanding, and cooperation. But do these shared ideologies and common threats alone explain the steadfast alliance between the Philippines, India, and Israel? Shared values and common enemies do create a bond. But is there something more that cements this alliance? Is the art of diplomacy the glue that holds these alliances together? Are there diplomatic maneuvers at play, you may ask? Well, let's delve into that. Diplomacy, in essence, is the art of negotiation and communication aimed at resolving differences and finding common ground. It's a delicate dance performed on the world stage by countries seeking to balance their national interests with those of their allies. And it's a dance that the Philippines, India, and Israel have been perfecting over the years. Consider this: the Philippines and India, despite their geographical distance from Israel, have managed to forge and maintain strong diplomatic ties with the country. They've done this by employing a range of diplomatic strategies, from high-level state visits to bilateral agreements and even cultural exchanges. Take, for instance, the state visits by Filipino and Indian leaders to Israel. These visits not only strengthen diplomatic ties, but also serve as a platform for discussions on shared interests and potential areas of cooperation. They are a testament to the power of personal diplomacy. where face-to-face interactions can build trust and understanding. Bilateral agreements, on the other hand, are a more formal diplomatic tool. They are legally binding pacts that outline the terms of the relationship between two countries. The Philippines, India, and Israel have a number of these agreements in place, covering areas such as defense, trade, and technology. Cultural exchanges are another diplomatic tool at their disposal. By promoting understanding and appreciation of each other's cultures, they foster a sense of camaraderie and mutual respect. This, in turn, strengthens their diplomatic ties. Diplomacy does play a role, but as we've seen, the alliance between the Philippines, India, and Israel is a complex web of history, economics, shared values, common enemies, and diplomatic ties. It's a fascinating story of how unlikely alliances can form and thrive in the intricate world of international relations, and it's a story that continues to unfold, shaped by the power of diplomacy. So now you know why the Philippines and India are willing to die protecting Israel. It's a fascinating tale of geopolitics, isn't it? We've traversed historical ties, economic links, shared values, common enemies, and the power of diplomacy. It's clear that international relations are complex and multifaceted, much like a prism refracting light. This story is just one facet of that prism. Subscribe for more amazing content. Keep wondering, keep learning, and until next time, stay curious. Don't miss out on future explorations and discoveries. Hit subscribe and ring the bell to stay updated with our new content. Your journey of wonder continues with every video. Stay connected and engaged on social media. Continue the conversation, follow us. Thank you for being a part of the Have You Ever Wondered community. Keep wondering, keep discovering. Until next time.